Bought a broken PS Vita off of eBay. Let's see what's wrong with it and see if I can bring it back to life. Alright, let's take a look at this PS Vita. Notice here this square button's kind of pressed in at an angle. The issue that's going on, let's see if I can show it here. So when it's in a menu, the direction buttons and the X button to select something doesn't work. But when you're not in a menu option, the direction D-pad works, and I can click on the X to go in and out, and I can click on the O to go back. So see how I clicked on the X, click on the X again, goes into the settings. But now that I'm in settings, let me select notifications here, for example. I can't go back with O, and I can't select, and I can't use the direction pad here to go down or up. From what I've looked up online, this is because the left and the right trigger are causing an issue to where the PS Vita thinks these are constantly pressed, which causes these to not function. Also to note, while I'm in a setting, the analog sticks do work. It's these buttons that don't work. So let's open it up and see if this is damaged or if cleaning these contacts will fix these issues here. This is the PS Vita second revision, where it's using a micro USB port. They did make it a little bit thinner. Better battery life, but the LCD screen versus the OLED, so you do lose a little bit of the screen quality. A little spudger, just put it right underneath that connection. Let's pry this back. Careful with the little cable back here. Look at that. Controls the touch mechanism on the back of this panel. I'm just doing a quick inspection. Alright, so to test my theory that it's the trigger buttons, I've disconnected them from the logic board. I'm going to crank up the PS Vita again, and I want to see if these pads will work now. So let's go ahead and turn it on again. So in theory, since this has been disconnected, I should now be able to use these when I'm in the menu and in a game as well. Look at that. Alright, we got direction buttons working. Let's click on the X. Look at that. Forward and back. Forward and back. And then up and down is working perfectly fine now. So yeah, that's the issue. Now let's turn this off. And let's see if cleaning these will work. If not, then I might need to replace them. Alright, got a little bit of IPA here. Let's go ahead and clean these. And I'm thinking, yeah, zoom in here for you real quick. This latch is very sensitive. It's keeps coming down. I have to pry it up to make the connection again. Here we go. Alright, something I wanted to catch on camera, these buttons, just like the when I take these off, you'll see as well. It's a piece, like the membrane is attached with the rubber. It's one single piece, not separate like in other handhelds or controllers where this membrane can be taken apart and you can clean the membrane separate from the plastic contact pieces. So I can't really get to this piece to clean it properly. Kind of wet it and let it dry up a little bit, see if I can clean it. If not, if these are malfunctioning, they shouldn't be too expensive, and I should be able to just replace this. That should fix the handheld pretty relatively at a low price. But let's see if cleaning it fixes it. All right, I'm gonna try to see without putting without putting these back on to see if it still works now that I've connected them to the logic board. Let's see. Because if it's not working with these hooked up to the logic board, then I know these are giving false contact and they're no good. See? Look at that. Yeah. I can't go down. And I can't select anything. Let's just network back. No. So these, without any pressure, they're giving a signal to the logic board that, hey, it's being pressed, and it's not being pressed. And then in a menu like this, when your trigger buttons are being pressed, it overrides the signal for these. So that's why these don't work. As soon as I disconnect these from the board, then all of a sudden these will operate again. So cleaning didn't work this part. I'm gonna do a quick little cleaning here off camera, test it real quick. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna work. And I'll have to order these and see how much and replace them if these are damaged. But let me just do a quick little cleaning on this, and then we'll get to replacing these. Alright, so I actually took this board out real quick and I gave this a very thorough cleaning. This connector port right here with this cable, gave it a very thorough cleaning with IPA and my toothbrush right here. And now, so I got this one plugged in here. This one is still not plugged in. I now have a functioning D-pad and buttons right here. So, could be that the right side is malfunctioning, or it just needs to be very thoroughly cleaned on this one. So I'm going to show in camera removing this panel to give that a very thorough cleaning, and at the same time to fix this depressed square button. So maybe we'll get lucky and it's just a matter of cleaning this port here with this here. They look fine. Don't see this broken of any sorts. Look at the plastic real quick. Doesn't seem out of shape or anything. It just depressed wrong. Alright. Let's give this guy a quick little cleaning. IPA on my toothbrush. Scrub there. Gotta be gentle with these connectors. They're very sensitive. You snap this little black piece here, and it's a lot of work to solder these back on. Trust me, I've done it. Moment of truth. Will it work? Look at that. I think we found our culprit. It is the right trigger. It is not working. And let me just test it. I'm gonna turn this off. Just do a quick little sanity check. I'm gonna turn it off. Okay. Take it out. Turn it back on. Look at that. Gonna have to swap this guy out, causing an issue. And button's already working again. Well, I'm gonna do a little bit more testing on this. We'll order the part. Get back to you guys soon. Alright, so I did a little bit more cleaning, and I didn't seat that cable. So I seated that, put that cable in there. give it a once over again and put that cable in, and now if you see, it's working up and down, in and out. But if I can get it to give me a second. So you see that? Analog stick now. Down, up, down, up. There you go. Doing it on its own. This analog has a little bump there. Hopefully it's not damaged. I'm gonna pop it out, give it a cleaning. 8 out of 10 times, cleaning these connectors fixes the issue. Case in point, the R and the L just needed to have their contacts cleaned a little bit better, so that they weren't being depressed or giving the signal that they were being depressed. So now, let me look at that analog stick and see if that fixes it. Springs, the analog mechanisms here, 4 springs, and then what looks to be like another shield here where it's soldered. I'm not 100% sure. Haven't gone this deep into one of these before. Wondering if I can pull it out. So if you look, the analog is super loose right now. So this bracket definitely holds tension to these with these 4 springs. Interesting. Alright, let me zoom in. Alright. So you got springs, and inside the hole where the spring's at, there's like a little pin right there. So that pin, spring goes around that little pin, and then the shield goes around and tightens it all. Right now, since I have none of that, the analog stick doesn't go back into the middle. It just kind of floats to wherever it feels like. Remember, I was pushing down, and then it would kind of throw itself up, thinking maybe these springs are worn out. I don't have a spring. I don't know if I should replace the spring, try to replace the spring, or give it a little cleaning. I'm going to give it a little cleaning first, and then maybe swap the springs around just to see if it does anything. And if not, then I might have broken it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So I'm gonna take, so for example, this spring, I'm gonna put it here. Okay, I had to get my, let me get that, my pliers to straighten these pins, straighten this bracket to go back into these holes. So it is behind the shield. You got 2 pins, and then another 2 here. I swapped out the spring, so this spring went into this spring, and this spring went into this spring. Just to kind of balance the tension, redistribute the tension. So you see now, up, down, I think it's, alright, let's see. Yeah, so here it's springing back there. so it's springing back to where it needs to be. Not 100% sure on this, so put it back in the console, see what happens. Let's see if I didn't break this. That's working, that's working. There we go. I think, yeah. Look at that. I gotta test the game. Alright, let me download a game and test and see if these work. After testing the game, if these are still working, I'll give you a final update wrapping it up. If not, I will show replacing this, but also I need to put pressure on these to make sure they are still good. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. That up, down, click back. It seems to be functioning perfect. All right, let me go test the game real quick. I'll get back to you guys. All right, so after trying it a little bit more, even though I can get these trigger buttons to work, after a little bit of utilization, they quit working. So I ended up biting the bullet, and I bought replacement L and R pad buttons here to go ahead and replace those. So let's go ahead and open this up real quick. I thought that it could have been loose, that since the glue wore out on these on the bottom connecting to the plastic, I thought maybe the glue wore out. So I got a little bit of sticky adhesive there, and I put it in there just to make sure that they were making contact. As you can tell, they're glued on there here pretty good now, but no luck. So it's definitely, these are just worn out, they're not making good contact, so I'm gonna go ahead and just replace both of these and then put it back together and make sure that it's working now. Something with the PS Vita, parts are getting a little bit more harder to find. It's definitely not that popular of a device anymore, and it's getting, with time, it's just getting harder to get parts. So in the future, it might be a little bit difficult to repair it, not because it's difficult to repair, but just because it's hard to get what you need. ahead and put these buttons back on. Power it on. See if it works. Alright, so far so good, but even cleaning them before I was good getting this far, and after about 10 minutes of messing around with it, the pads stopped working. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of testing real quick. Whoop, lost the button there. And attach the back part on there so the buttons don't fall off. And I'll get back to you guys. Alright, in conclusion, PS Vita had the following things wrong with it. The left and right trigger needed to be replaced, contact pad was worn off, wasn't making a connection. Also, both analog buttons needed to be cleaned, to put a little bit of contact cleaner and IPA, clean those, and now they are fully functioning. So all of a sudden now I have a fully functioning PS Vita. Once again, remember, just because it's broken doesn't mean it's trash. See you in the next video.